Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you for our time together. I'd like us to come back to Luke chapter 6 today, verse 12. Luke 6:12. In these days he went out to the mountain to pray, and all night he continued in prayer to God. So Jesus knew how to have an all-night private prayer meeting. Now notice it was not all-night worship to keep everybody awake, an all-night prayer meeting. And when day came, he called his disciples, and he chose from them 12. He chose from them 12. Now, I want to say something that people don't like much, but I need you to just listen to me for a minute and then be like the Bereans and search the scriptures to see if these things be so. There's this false doctrine about discipleship today, and I used to teach discipleship, but I don't even like to use the word too much anymore because it has been so abused and used to manipulate and control people. It's become the mantra of Christianity, but it's all applied wrong. Now, if you want to understand biblical discipleship and how different it is from modern discipleship, I would challenge that you go through Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And you know what got me studying this? Is I don't see what people do today done by the apostles. I don't see it in the book of Acts. That's what really got me going into this. But go back in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John and begin to mark in your Bible when was Jesus talking to the 12 and when was Jesus talking to disciples. Now notice, he called his disciples. There was a large group of disciples that gathered around Jesus. Some scholars say at least 84, some put it more at 500. From that large group of disciples, he chose from them 12. Now, where discipleship gets mixed up today is when people try to attribute what Jesus was speaking to the 12 and what he speaks to disciples. See, a disciple simply means students. So from his students, he chose 12 to be apostles. From his students, he chose 12 to be apostles. The training of the 12 is often confused with biblical discipleship. The requirements on the 12 is often confused with what is required for the students. And there's two totally different subjects. So if you'd like to do a little study, just start in Matthew and begin to analyze when was Jesus speaking to the 12, which he had called to be apostles, and when was he speaking to this larger group of students, and realize the requirements, realize the expectations, realizing what they were trained in are very different situations.